All right, so Jay, you wanted to talk to us about a change. Which property, which is this?
70 Possum Road.
Okay.
This isn't on our,
That is our business.
oh yeah, it's the very end. Oh, let it, make it stay a little longer.
So basically what we're proposing is a small bump out on the actual, on the garage for the house. As you remember that we were in front of you a little while back with the kind of down there from the architect. The original approved RGFA was $89.75. We came back in front of you for these this bump out, which was the main bump out, which was the stair section that came from the second floor down to the basement, which bumped our RGFA up to $93.86, and now we're proposing this bump out of the garage section, which pushes us at $94.65. Based on some updated architectural drawings that to get a little better use of the driveway section.
So this isn't built yet?
No, it's the house under construction. This section isn't built yet.
Wait a minute, I was busy locating that. Can we do that one more time?
Yeah. So we came in front of you back in April of last year.
Right.
House was $89.75 at the time, which is our new house. We came back in
And
the
this
fall.
was a tear down, right?
Yep,
From
this
the
was a tear
previous
down,
house.
exactly.
Right, okay. And
We did the little bump out here, and this was the stairwell that was going from the
Right.
second floor down to the basement, and then which that bumped us up to $93.86, and then now the proposal is $94.65, which is this. This basically is a 3-foot section on the garage. The second part is something that I actually have been working on with Joe.
So what's going on behind that garage? So what's that one?
This is this right here.
Yeah.
This goes all the way across. This is an entryway,
Okay.
a covered entry that kind of goes across. So
Okay.
it looks like that's what it comes across.
I was just wondering what the space behind it, you see that it's now
Oh.
going into, what is that? What was
So this
that?
that was the walkway area.
Okay,
So that's basically we have a retaining wall which is staying in the exact same location.
all right.
The walkway is going to be spaced basically midpoint in between and kind of just walking around like that.
So it's just sort of a little bit more hard surface, or it's a little bit more impervious.
Exactly.
Oh, onto a
Right.
previous impervious surface.
Yeah, exactly. And then in the minute, we're also looking at doing a lighting change, which actually is going to reduce the lumens. I got back the updated stuff from the architect today. It reduces it from the original approvals and actually reduces it for the garage section as well. They want to basically they were trying some new LED lights that were strip lights along these sections, and they were extremely expensive. So they went to a couple other versions of the similar strip lights that I was working on with Joe, and it basically knocked the original approval, which was about it was 21,530. The new updated is 18,710. So they almost took 2,000 lumens off. And in particular, they knocked about 1,500 off the garage area.
What was the reason for the three-phase expansion?
Yeah, this was basically during the design. They realized that they needed a little more space for the cars that they were putting in that area. So basically, it ended up being about a foot for each stall. It's because it's a 3-car garage.
Do you have a floor plan by any chance, front floor plan, or?
I don't.
I have the file, so I do.
I'm just, which way do the cars pull into the
The
garage?
sidewalk. So this is
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my question.
Exactly.
70.
And that will impact the house to the right of ours.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. There's minor little bump out, but I think more the lighting was the one that we thought put in the sidewalk was more of an issue. So I felt like that reduction was actually better for them as well.
And there's-
The generators are called
Yeah, the generators.
Generators.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no impact to the landscaping?
The landscaping actually, Kim has been working with our landscape consultant. That basically, there's no change to basically the major portions of the landscape plan. This little bump out on this back side basically takes this walkway and pulls it a little bit closer to the wall section here. We have the AC units, and then basically the plantings move with everything, so everything gets bumped. So this walkway basically goes along the wall now, basically. So there's no changes to the planting, especially that foundation planting. The landscape plan, which is we were going to bring up tonight, is all the trees and everything else, which I'll show you. All the trees and all screening trees have all stayed exactly the same. One of the things that they were wrestling with was the ground cover issues. They were trying to keep some of the costs down a little bit for the ground cover. So they originally removed certain types of ground cover entirely, and then I talked to Kim, and I think I don't want to speak with Kim, but it's, we wanted to try to get the same cost, try to just get a better mix of the ground cover. Keep all the screening trees, keep all the major trees, and just get a better mix of that. I feel like, I think that they've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep the variety, but there's drops in the counts, but they're all good spreaders, they're smooth ground covers.
These are reductions actually in impervious area that they've been doing as a big. These are little things that I just been giving to Joe as this patio was moved, that patio was removed, you know, as we're doing these things. We're not mentioning them here tonight, but
Right.
so he gets an update of.
So what was patio becomes lawn,
Yeah.
so net benefit on stormwater.
Right. Yeah, it's about a 400 square foot change in patio to lawn.
Okay, so how are we keeping track of all this stuff?
So what you've actually changed for the field changes actually are all in this plan that we've come before you.
I mean, we made some changes in front also.
Yeah, that's the, right here. Yep, that's the
There's a
transformer.
gate that we also looked at.
Yep, we had the gate, yep, we had the approval right there, yep. So we have the transformer here, which we had to change a little work, that was all based on the electric company. We have a little work in the back for the septic system. We have the removal of the chillers, and we had the AC units along the side. And then we had the underground change, which was taking from a pump system to a gravity system, and then this pump out right here. So basically, we tried to do the chillers for this week. Got to get a fluids.
We got patios, we've got.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's a reduction, so that's always a positive, yes.
Well, it's positive, but it just isn't recorded.
Yeah, like it recorded.
Well, eventually I'll update the next plan with all those changes on it. I didn't want to be presumptive yet. The blues are the approvals.
So what Jay will do is basically have a, what Jay will do is then have a new dated revision plan that then identifies all these. He calls out the dates that things were approved so that in the file and for our record, we have these called out when these changes were approved.
Okay, so I guess at the end, we'll just have a coordinated set that shows everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking 10 years from now, who's going to remember?
Oh, no, yeah.
You will, Al.
No, I guarantee you I won't.
You have a great brain. Really, Weston.
Yes,
Can
Susan?
you tell me what, I didn't catch it, you said you replaced pumps with gravity feed, what?
Oh, we're talking about for the septic system. So basically, there was originally a pump system on the side, and it's actually a gravity system.
Why would they have a pump system ever?
It was based on where the actual plumbing for the basement was. So it's in essence, the plumbing for the basement itself is still going to be a pump because they're going to basically have to do
Because it's low.
What we did was that the entire system itself, both the first floor, second floor, and basement, was all going to go to the septic tank to go to the pump chamber. So that was all based on discussions with the client, but then I basically talked him into doing this and just doing a lift pump in the basement for the one restroom down there.
I mean, it seems,
Yeah, this way you get gravity for
only
the
the
first and
medical
second
school
floor.
has to pump all this uphill.
Okay. So what we're looking at is the extension to the garage, the sidewalk, and there's one other thing. Well, I guess it's the lighting reduction.
Yeah, the lighting and then the landscape going.
Oh, the landscape changes, we want to talk about, that's also.
We talked about that, yeah.
But not the elimination of the patio spaces.
We can mention that as part of this. That was why I gave it to Joe. I'm going to update the plans to show all those reductions, because I figured that's kind of a no-brainer just to say patio, removing patios is always good.
Yeah.
So your concern now is just one of these memorialized, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
because otherwise,
Right, I know.
people are going to be looking at plans that don't coordinate with what's out
Right,
there.
and then we all have to disagree.
Yeah.
Anybody got a problem with the biggest one, which is expanding the garage by 3 feet?
No, it doesn't seem to have any impact on the neighbors or
Pushes things.
pervious surface, it's just above that.
How about the reduction in the lighting?
I think that they should update the light.
Yeah.
I think that the size of that house is just not gonna make it. I'm joking.
We don't taste.
Okay. So I take it everybody's okay with that?
Yep.
Changing the ground cover, everybody okay with that?
Kim says so.
All right, then the sidewalk change goes with the garage expansion, so, and then reducing the patio
Patios in
spaces.
the back, yeah.
Everybody okay with that?
Sure.
Okay. Then, would somebody move to accept the changes?
So,
All in favor?
Aye.
I
Thank you.
That's it, thanks, Jay.